Did you know that across the heart of America, from the endless plains of Texas to the swamps of Florida, there's a silent war raging every night? It's not against wolves, coyotes, or bears. It's against something far more destructive. Wild boars. These powerful, relentless invaders are tearing through farmland, devouring crops, and wreaking havoc on ecosystems from coast to coast. Classified as one of the world's 100 most dangerous invasive species, wild boars have become a national nightmare threatening farmers' livelihoods, native wildlife, and even human safety. They don't just trample cornfields. They destroy irrigation systems, dig up soil, and rip through the balance of nature itself. Every year, their rampage costs Americans an estimated $25 billion in damage. But how did these beasts become such a devastating force? And how are farmers and even hunters in helicopters fighting back against this unstoppable invasion? The story of the wild boar's takeover doesn't begin in the U.S. or Australia. It starts centuries ago, when explorers and traders from Europe and Asia brought pigs overseas for food and farming. Some escaped, adapted, and multiplied. Over generations, these animals transformed into what we now know as feral hogs, tougher, faster, and far more aggressive than their domestic ancestors. Today, the U.S. population has exploded to more than 8.3 million across 39 states. In Australia, they now occupy nearly half the continent's landmass, about 45%. And their numbers are climbing fast. With an incredible ability to reproduce sows, can have 2 litters a year. With up to 6 piglets, each their population can surge by over 80% in a single year if left unchecked. In both countries, these creatures are doing more than just chewing through farmland. In Australia alone, wild boars have devastated 148 threatened plant and animal species. While in America, they've turned entire ecosystems upside down. They feed on everything roots, seeds, small mammals, even newborn livestock. When they're not eating, they're digging. Their powerful snouts churn up the ground, eroding soil, spreading invasive weeds, and damaging wetlands that once thrived with life. And as if that wasn't enough, they carry dangerous diseases, like African swine fever and swine flu, which could cripple entire agricultural economies. If a major outbreak ever took hold, experts warn that Australia alone could lose up to $50 billion over the next decade. That's why the fight against wild boars isn't just a local battle, it's a global one. Governments in the US and Australia have both declared war on these animals, calling on farmers, hunters, and wildlife officials to unite in an effort to control the crisis. But here's the catch. Scientists say that to keep the population stable, at least 70% of wild boars must be removed every year. Anything less, and their numbers bounce right back. That's why farmers and hunters have turned to two main strategies: trapping and hunting. Trapping begins long before the first pig is caught. It starts with understanding where the animals roam. Wild boars love places near rivers, streams, and dense forests. Wet, shady areas where they can feed and hide. Farmers spread bait like corn, molasses, or vegetable scraps to lure them in. But patience is key. You can't just dump all the bait at once. The goal is to build a routine, to let the pigs grow comfortable and lower their guard. After a week or two, once they return regularly, that's when the trap is set. Modern traps are no simple cages. They're steel enclosures with walls over 5 feet high, equipped with smart sensors and remote cameras. Farmers can monitor everything from their phones, waiting for the right moment to close the gate. When it happens, it's quick and precise sometimes, catching entire herds at once, up to 50 pigs in a single go. But even that isn't enough to keep up with their explosive breeding. That's when the fight gets personal. Hunters take to the fields, sometimes in the dead of night, armed with rifles, scopes, and nerves of steel. Wild boars aren't just fast, they're fearless. They can charge at speeds of 25 miles per hour, their sharp tusks capable of inflicting fatal injuries. Hunters move silently, always downwind, because even the faintest human scent can send a herd scattering into the forest. The tension builds with every step. Then a twig snaps, a shape moves in the dark, and the chase begins. For many, the most dramatic and controversial method of control happens from the air. Picture this: a helicopter swooping low over the open plains, wind roaring, the ground below erupting with movement as hundreds of wild boars scatter in panic. From above, hunters aim carefully, using semi-automatic rifles to thin out massive herds. It's a dangerous, expensive operation costing up to $4,000 per flight, but it's also one of the most effective. In just a few hours, dozens of animals can be taken down, protecting thousands of acres of farmland from destruction. It's not a sport, it's survival. Yet even with all this effort, the boars are winning more battles than they're losing.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.